if there's not going to be a situation that you get in that you got to fear so much that you can't ask somebody, hey, I'm in this situation. Have you ever been in this situation? What helped you? What's going on, Set Free Fishing? We're going to do a little sobriety talk today. Stuff that I've been hearing in meetings, and just things that I felt like needed to be wrote down and needed to be discussed with others who struggle with alcoholism and addiction. So what I'm gonna talk about today is today we're gonna talk about fear and faith. Fear and faith is a strong topic in recovery, because you have a lot of fears once you get sober. And the topic of fear and faith. Fear of withdrawals will continue to pull you down deeper into the pit of your demise. The fear of shame will keep you from reaching out for help, and then you reach your bottom and have no choice but to reach out for the fear of death. There comes a point, and you're using and abusing, that you know the only thing left, because you done been to jail, you done probably been to institutions, you probably done been to the hospital, you probably done been to all them places, and the only place this thing leads other than those places is death. Fear's institution, or jail's institution, and death. So that last one is the inevitable. It will come eventually, especially with the day and age we're in now. I mean, fentanyl is ran rampant in the United States right now. It's in everything from benzos to oxys to even marijuana. They're putting fentanyl on everything because they want someone more addicted to their product. So it's a really scary world out there right now. And I hope anyone that's out there struggling right now can get away from it, because ultimately there is a way out. Through God and through AA, you can get away from that destruction that you're in right now, the destructive life you live, the hell that you think you're stuck in. You don't have to be stuck in no more. Then God leads us to AA, and you begin to have faith in Him and in a program of recovery that has worked for millions of people for over 100 years. You put your faith in the steps in hopes it will lead you to live a happy and joyous life. Then you fear ever going back to the life you once lived. If we call on God during our moments of fear, He will lead us to a calm and peace like no other. And this is a little, this is out of the readings of As Bill Sees It. The achievement of freedom from fear is a lifetime undertaking, one that can never be wholly completed. When under heavy attack, acute illness, or in other conditions of serious insecurity, we shall all react to this emotion, well or bodily, as the case may be. Only the self-deceived will claim perfect freedom from fear. Fear has caused suffering when I could have had more faith. There are times when fear suddenly tears me apart. Just when I'm experiencing feelings of joy, happiness, and a lightness of heart, faith, and a feeling of self-worth toward a higher power helps me endure tragedy and ecstasies. When I choose to give all of my fear over to God, I will be free. So ultimately, yeah, God is our escape from fear. Once we become sober, I think we gain more fear than we had when we weren't sober, because you see life as it is. You're not masking the pain. You're not masking reality with some alcohol or drugs. You see everything as it is. So you begin to fear, do I have enough money? Is my job good enough? Am I going to make bills this month? Am I good enough for my lover? Am I good enough for my family? There's just so many different types of fear that can overwhelm you. But if you lay it lay it all out on the table in front of God and say, take this fear from me, He will. He'll take it from you. But you gotta be faithful. You gotta be patient, because it'll all come at different times. You know, it won't all go away at once. So, and then there's also things we can do. We can do our part as seeing if we can maybe find a little bit better job if we got to, cutting back on our finances, and our spending. We can be a better partner to our lovers, listen better, be there more, do the dishes, help clean, just all kind of different things that'll keep us from ever having to fear losing anything, because we always play the biggest role in our fear. We fear stuff that we can actually control. So, pray the serenity prayer, ask God, to ask Him for the serenity that you need in any situation. God grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So you need that wisdom to pinpoint, okay, is this fear something that I can change? Or is it something that I need to accept for what it is, and there's nothing I can do about it? God, take this. It's in your hands. I can't change it. Give me power over that fear, seeing as how I can't change it. So in all the situations, it's either we can fix it or God can fix it. There's no other way to fix it. Going to a great AA group, working the steps with your sponsor will help you. I would not know how to handle the majority of the situations I've been in since I've been sober if it weren't for AA. They didn't just give me a tool belt or a toolbox. They gave me a whole shed full of tools that I can use in my day-to-day activities, whether it be at work, whether it be at home, whether it be out in public, whether it be at a meeting, whether it be wherever I am. They have helped give me tools that I can use each and every day. So as long as we practice what the big book tells us, and as long as we definitely practice what the biggest book tells us, which is the Bible, we can get through the fears. And once we start putting faith over fear, start having faith that God's going to change the situation, start having faith that we can change the situation, start having faith that it's already handled. God knows whatever's going to happen to you before it even happens, and He's never going to put something on you that you can't handle. It tells us He'll never ever tempt us more than we can bear. So, or let temptation arise in our path that we are not going to be able to handle. We can handle that situation. We just got to put our whole heart and faith in Him to guide us through that moment in time, because without Him we are nothing. Without Him I am nothing. Without Him I wouldn't be sober today. Without him, I wouldn't be alive today. He knew that he had plans for me that I didn't know about. He had plans to prosper me. He had plans to lead me to even create this channel, to reach out to others, to let them know that there's a way out from that dark, dark place that you live, or was living, or may live. I hope no one ever has to experience the clutches of addiction, because it is a nasty, nasty disease. And alcoholism alike, which, alcohol is just a liquid drug, really. It all affects us chemically. So it's one and the same, really. And there's a beautiful program out there that can lead you in the right direction. And that program, a lot of stuff in that program was based off the biggest book, which is the Bible. The Bible, if we stick our head in the Bible, read his scriptures, it's our roadmap to heaven. It's our roadmap to a joyful life. It's never going to be easy. There's not once in that Bible does it say it's easy. It's going to be challenging. It's going to be hard to live differently than the rest of this world. This world is crazy right now. This world is wicked. And it said it would be that. It's the Bible told us what this world was going to become. And it's becoming that right now, Good becomes evil. Evil becomes good, The things that are happening in this world is just crazy and wicked, and the only way through it is to hold on to his word. Cling to his word. Hide his word in your heart, because it's the only thing that could save me. It's the only thing that could get me away from the hell I was living in. And it was a very dark place where I was. A very dark place. And I thank him every day that he never gave up on me. He never let my family give up on me. They were always prodding at me to do better, to get better. And for the longest time, I didn't even think I had a problem. So one of my biggest things that kept me going back every time was the fear of withdrawals, the fear of going through that, I don't know, withdrawal, especially with alcohol. Alcohol withdrawals are the worst. They can kill you. I've seen some people when I was in detox that were like worse than I was, coming off of opiates with that alcohol. I mean, there's been people known to die from it. And that's what kept me going back more than anything else. Was the fear of going through those withdrawals. So, and then also the shame of ever telling my family what I had going on. And then, of course, as everyone knows, God did for me what I couldn't do for myself. And here I am set free today because of his grace and mercy, going to a program that I used to poke fun of, saying that I didn't need to go sit in a room and admit I was alcoholic or addict because I wasn't that person no more. This is who I am. I've embraced that. I've come to terms with it. I'm okay with it, because though I am an addict, I'll die sober by his grace and his grace only, and through the help of a program we call AA that's going to lead me to live a joyous, happy, and free life. This program is everything. This program, not that church wasn't enough, because church, I wasn't enough. Church would have probably worked a lot better if I would have put my whole heart into it like I was supposed to. But I was still clinging to that life I used to live in a roundabout way. So it wasn't that church wasn't enough. It's just I wasn't enough, and I wasn't doing the right thing. And I believe it led me here right now. My relapse led me to the rooms of AA, so I'm forever grateful for my relapse. because I would have never stepped through the doors of AA. I'd have never stepped through the doors of the Mary Lyons Center if it wasn't for me relapsing, going back out using, and then getting caught using, and understanding that I needed help, and there was more help out there than I was reaching out for the first time, that could guide me in the right directions, because there was a group of men and women that's been through the same situations that I'm going through, or been through, or gonna go through, and they've stayed sober. Some of them that I know, some that are in my home group, they've been sober 50 years, 20 years, 7 years, 6 years, 9 years, 10 years. It's all, there's so many different, years of sobriety in there, and it's all help. It's all guidance. If there's not going to be a situation that you get in that you got to fear so much that you can't ask somebody, hey, I'm in this situation. Have you ever been in this situation? What helped you? I'm almost guaranteed that someone in that group at that particular time has been in that same similar situation, and something helped them, and they'll be able to guide you. So we don't even have to fear those situations, because there's someone that's already been through it. We don't have to go through it because they already been through it. They conquered it. Now we just got to open our ears and our heart and listen to their guidance, and we can too get through that situation. So put that faith here and that fear here, and we'll win this battle. Put your whole heart into the Word of God, that He may guide you and lead you and strengthen you over that fear. Wake up every morning, put on that whole armor, and conquer that fear, because it can be conquered. We don't have to live in that fear no more, because our faith can be much stronger, and is much stronger than that fear. Put your put your faith into a program that's worked for millions of people for over 100 years. Put your faith in that, and I guarantee you, it'll lead you in the right direction, and you can also be set free from not only your addiction, but your fear also. Because not only does it give you freedom over the fears you had because you're an addict, but once you become sober, it gives you freedom over the fears that in everyday life. There's someone in that program that's going to have the right words to say to you, to help you through that financial situation, to help you through that lost loved one, to help you through that trouble at work, to help you through that trouble at school, to help you through that relationship. There's always going to be someone with the wisdom and the guidance that you need to hear. So put your whole heart into this program, and it'll lead you in the right direction to live a life free of fear. It'll never be completely free, as I read to you. I don't think we'll ever be completely free of fear, because we're always going to fear something. I fear the world that my daughter has to grow up in. The world that we brought her in. I love my daughter more than anything in this world, and I wouldn't change nothing, because she is my pride and joy. But I'm scared of this world and what it's becoming, and she has to grow up in it now. And that's one of the things that kept me from having kids for a very long time. And I wasn't ready, obviously. But I fear that. There's things that I fear that I know that when the time comes, God will get us through it, and I will have the knowledge to give her, to help her through the situation. But doesn't mean I don't have a little fear about it, because I do fear this world that we're leaving for our kids. It's in shambles right now. So cling to Him, cling to His Word, and get to a meeting to get that guidance you need, to get that knowledge you need, and put your faith over fear.
you.